Aunt Grace's blessing. A story of faith, betrayal, and wickedness. Tito and Deborah had just gotten married, and though they lived a humble life, they were happy. It wasn't long before Tito's aunt, Aunt Grace, paid them a surprise visit. She arrived with warm smiles and a kind heart, or so it seemed. As they sat together at the table, Tito made an announcement that caught everyone off guard. "We're moving to London soon," he said, his face beaming. But Deborah was shocked. Why would he share such a personal detail so soon? They hadn't even told their closest friends. Tito brushed off her concerns, saying, "It's just family." Later, Aunt Grace made a strange request. Before leaving, she asked Tito for his passport, saying she wanted to pray for it. Tito hesitated but handed it over. Aunt Grace clutched it, whispered a prayer over it, and left with a smile. 2 weeks later, Deborah's visa arrived but Tito's did not. He was confused but told Deborah not to worry. "We'll try again," he assured her, though the failure gnawed at him. Months passed, and Deborah was now 3 months pregnant. One day on her way home from church, she saw Aunt Grace standing by their gate, smiling brightly and holding a gift box. "This is for the baby," Aunt Grace said cheerfully. Deborah thanked her and went inside. When she opened the box, she found tiny baby clothes. But that night, Deborah began experiencing sharp pains in her belly. Just 3 days later, she lost the baby. Her heart shattered, and grief weighed heavily on her. Tito tried to comfort her, but life went on. One day he casually mentioned that Aunt Grace's son, his cousin, had just gotten married, and his wife was already expecting a child. The news made Deborah feel uneasy. Something didn't sit right with her, but she kept her suspicions to herself. As time went on, Deborah's relationship with Aunt Grace became strained. She avoided her visits, her instincts warning her that something was off. One night, Deborah woke up from a nightmare, drenched in sweat. She shook Tito awake and whispered, "There's something wrong with your aunt. I just know it." But Tito dismissed her fears, saying she was overthinking it. Determined to protect her unborn child if she ever got pregnant again, Deborah prayed harder than before. In one of her prayers, she felt a divine message: Aunt Grace wasn't a blessing, she was a curse. The next time Tito invited Aunt Grace over, Deborah warned him, "If you keep bringing her here, I won't stay in this house through the pregnancy." Reluctantly, Tito agreed. One day Aunt Grace came over unexpectedly and found Tito sitting alone. "Where's Deborah?" she asked. Tito lied, saying, "We broke up." Instead of being concerned, Aunt Grace smiled and told him, "You made the right choice." Tito's heart sank. That was the confirmation he had feared all along. His aunt never wanted their happiness. Months passed, and Deborah gave birth to twins. News spread quickly, and the entire family was overjoyed except for Aunt Grace. Shortly after hearing the news, she was involved in a terrible car accident. Tito and Deborah, now parents of 2 beautiful babies, decided it was time for a fresh start. They packed their bags and left everything behind, traveling to Canada to begin a new life, free from the dark shadows that once haunted them. Not every smiling face is friendly, and not every blessing comes from a pure heart. Sometimes it takes faith and intuition to see the truth hidden beneath kindness. The end.